Off the case, week 6 of testimony in the Sean Diddy Combs trial, starting off with quite a shakeup. The judge officially dismissing juror number 6 over what he says were inconsistencies in statements the juror made about where he lived. The judge adding that this raised questions about the juror's candor and ability to follow instructions. On the stand today, a pair of summary witnesses meant to help the jury organize the hundreds of exhibits they have seen so far. Sean Combs has denied all charges in his sex trafficking and racketeering trial, and if convicted, he does face life in prison. Let's bring in civil attorney Tre Lovell for more. So how does this removal of this juror impact the trial and just the makeup of the jury? How much of an impact do you think it's going to make, Tre?
Well, it shouldn't really have an impact at all because the alternates are there, having fulfilled their criteria to be a juror, and it shouldn't make any difference. The defense is trying to argue that the racial side of this, because the juror that's getting dismissed is an African American, that's now going to change the racial demographic of the jury and have an effect on the case. But that really shouldn't matter. Alternate jurors are there as if they were regular jurors, just to be replaced. So I think the defense is making a big deal out of this, but it shouldn't really affect the jury at all.
So walk us through what these summary witnesses do for the prosecution's case.
Yeah, so the summary witnesses basically are there to authenticate and lay a foundation for summaries of all the materials that have been logged into evidence or are being used by the police. And so what they do is, there's thousands of text messages, documents, other things like that a jury can never assimilate and get through on their own. So they have these summary witnesses that come in, summarize a lot of the text messages and the documents and the emails and things like that, and kind of make it more organized for a jury so they can understand it and get through it. And then as they do so, they can then reach out to specific documents and look more in detail. But they're really just there to summarize on the extensive documentation that happens in all these cases.
Thanks so much, Tre, for keeping eyes on the trial for us. We will talk again. Straight
Sounds
ahead.
Good.
All right.